now. We've all agreed. We've been very vocal. Marvel's been kind of they've been slacking lately. Guardians was the one. This is gonna bring it back, boys. This is gonna save it. Did it do that though? Let's get into it and find out.
We were gone for quite a while. But no matter what happens next, the galaxy still needs its guardians.
Amazing movie. I'll say right off the bat.
Yes, it was. It was so fucking good.
This was like a bittersweet movie for me.
Yeah, it was.
Obviously, you can't just drag the shit on forever. You're not telling a comic book story. Dusty and I have like argued back and forth about this. Like, yeah, sure, they're comic book characters, but you can't tell a comic book story on a screen that just goes on forever.
Right.
You got to end it at some point. And I think, they ended it on a high note. This takes place still in current MCU timeline after the loss of Gamora in Avengers Infinity War. This is after the Disney Plus holiday special where we see the team basically living on nowhere. And they're kind of just living there, like doing their thing, defending the galaxy and whatnot. And we meet up with them here on nowhere yet again. And all of a sudden, fucking our boy that everybody's been waiting for, Adam Warlock, pops up. I don't know, like just zips on in, fucking tackles Rocket and kind of starts off the plot. So in that little scuffle, Rocket gets mortally, is that a word? Fatally injured, let's just say that. And he's kind of on his deathbed. Apparently, it turns out Rocket has like a sort of a time bomb on his heart, and that got damaged. So the quest of the film is to figure out how the fuck does Rocket have this on him. And we got to figure it out, and we got to figure out how to shut it down to save him. We talked about it before, about like this movie was going to largely deal with Rocket's past, but I didn't quite expect it to be what it was, because goddamn, that shit was dark. Poor Rocket.
Been through hell.
So, of course, written and directed by James Gunn, all our stars returned. Couple of newcomers. Reprising her role from the holiday special is Maria Bakalova as Cosmo the Space Dog. I mentioned Will Poulter, this newcomer, as Adam Warlock. Chukwudi Iwuji, I probably mispronounced that, so I apologize, as the High Evolutionary, the villain of this film.
He was so good.
Yeah, he was amazing, actually.
Yeah.
Some of the villains throughout the Marvel movies were like kind of like lukewarm, not so great. Other than like Thanos, obviously, Loki, Killmonger, those are like the high-end villains, but this guy is like now on that list. Purely for the fact that like he's just a straight piece of shit. Like he is just a villain.
Yeah.
Right?
Everything terrible you could think of, he would do it.
Because like Thanos trying to wipe out like half of life in the universe, it's pretty fucked up. But there's a part of everybody that could kind of understand.
Nihilistic.
You can kind of understand,
The way he explains it, you're kind of like, I get it.
Yeah. I might snap too.
Yeah, I might snap. Might have to. Sometimes maybe you got to snap. You know what I'm saying?
50-50. He builds up an entire civilization of animal people.
Yeah.
Just to destroy them at the fucking snap of his finger.
What do you call a sociopath who tries to build the perfect society? Like,
Hitler.
That's a fucking it's an oxymoron.
So he's doing all sorts of like crossbreeding and like creating like fucking hybrid animals and like fucking with the rate of evolution that they go through.
Oh yeah, that was insane.
You never really know what his goal was, like what was his vision of a perfect society. They don't tell you. I think that made him even more crazy, because at the end of the day, if you have that idea, you probably don't really have a solid grasp of what that is, even in your own mind.
Because it's going to keep changing.
Right.
I mean, if it's your own and you control it, it's an authoritarian fucking nightmare.
Right.
Well, Rocket was kind of that, because Rocket was the only one that was able to think of something outside of what he made them into and programmed them to think of.
Foundational knowledge or something. There was a phrase
he said
they
something
used.
for sure. Yeah.
They used a specific phrase of like core memory or foundational knowledge or something that's just like it's in their DNA. They know that, but they don't know what's beyond that. And that's what one thing that Rocket did know is he knew things beyond his foundational core memory.
The only thing he really explained a little bit was when he said he visited Earth and was really taken by the arts, like music specifically. He appreciated music. So I think that's what he was trying to create. If I had to guess, like his vision of the perfect society was one of like art and culture. So of course
and suburbs.
Yeah. So of course he would need the attribute that Rocket has, which is the ability to like cognitively think and like think of complex problem solving skills.
Solutions.
Yeah, because that's how you are. That's how you become creative, right? Rocket's an inventor in the film. That's like his role as the Guardian.
He's the greatest gadgeteer in the galaxy.
And I miss you so much. And maybe if you open yourself up to it, there's a possibility.
I don't think so, Quinn.
Quill.
I don't think so.
Peter Quill is still depressed. We knew that because of the loss of Gamora.
Vaguely.
Yeah,
He's losing it.
He's boozing. He's fucking.
He is down bad.
Like, they don't know how to help him, right? It's even more so fucked up in this case because they're all fucking superheroes. Like, they all have these abilities, but they can't really fix his problem, and they don't know how to help him. So they're kind of just like dealing with him. And I really love Nebula's story arc in these movies because she goes from being like a vindictive, vengeful, spiteful bitch, no fault of her own. She was tortured by Thanos all her life, but slowly but surely warms up to the idea of loving people. Now she's just part of the group, and she's like very, very caring. You could tell like she's carrying Peter Quill to his bed, and like she's taking care of them. Loved her story arc. She was my favorite like character arc, I think, in the whole series. Very, very simple plot, but like so much happens in the plot. It's so emotional because the movie's broken up quite a bit. There's a lot of flashbacks to Rocket's time in captivity. Right from the start of the movie, you see him get snatched out of the cage as a baby, and he gets experimented on, and he gets thrown back in, and he's all shaky and scared, and oh god.
Yeah, that was
no better way to fucking give somebody the feels than by fucking with animals, right?
Right.
Like
baby animals too.
Oh man, so sad.
Jeez, dude.
But yeah, Rocket had it hard. They look like Sid's toys from Toy Story.
They really do. Yeah.
Fucking rabbit's got fucking
just fucking
strung over its mouth, and fucking the other guy's on fucking wheels, and there's like a spider fucking thing. Oh man, I cried so much in this movie. Just
I knew you were gonna cry. If I was tearing up, Dan's definitely fucking waterworks to the fullest.
Oh yeah, just so much crying.
It's weird because it's not like she's dead. She is still alive, but it's like akin to like someone like your parent getting like dementia or something because they're still
amnesia.
there.
Yeah.
They're still the same person, but they don't know who you are, or you don't really have the same connection.
All of us fans were probably hoping and thinking that like, oh yeah, by the end of this movie, she'll clearly get back to where our Gamora was, and like the ship will be righted. No. Right. James Gunn said sorry. So a lot of this movie is Peter sort of trying to convince her like that they had a relationship and why they loved each other and all this stuff. Honestly, the movie makes you feel for her because it's like he's being a pain in the ass. And he just can't understand, like, I'm not.
Get that.
You didn't get that?
I felt more for him, to be honest.
Well, no, I did definitely feel bad for him, for sure. But but if you think about it for 2 seconds, and I think the movie tried to do that, is put you in her perspective. Like, yo, I'm not the same person.
Yeah.
Like, I get where you're coming from.
She came off very frustrated, like, stop it. What the fuck? Like, she even flipped out at him and almost, like, fucking assaulted him until Nebula stepped in. And she was very unlikable in this movie.
Because really, like, you couldn't expect someone, like, if you have a wife and she gets amnesia or something, you can't expect her to really even have sympathy for you for something you think that you guys have together. You know what I mean?
Dusty just said, I found her very unlikable. They did that on purpose because us as the audience, it subverts expectations. We're expecting her to grow back into the Gamora that we lost and that Peter lost.
Which is unreasonable.
It was unreasonable, always unreasonable to think
especially
that was
such
the
a
case.
short time frame. Yeah.
Right. So I really appreciated the fact that James Gunn did that because the whole movie, you're like, oh my God, would she just like fucking, when's she gonna snap out of it? When's she gonna
kiss him already?
Right. When's she gonna realize she loves him? And she just never does.
When's she gonna realize she loves him?
And then by the end of the movie, she has a nice little moment with Peter where Peter finally realizes like, oh, she's not the same person and she's never gonna be. And she gives him like a little bone. She's like, I bet we would have been fun. Like, you see that she saw a little bit of what the other Gamora saw in him by the end of this. He's a good person. He cares about people.
She said, I bet we were fun.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I misworded. Yeah, she said, I bet we were fun.
Threw me off for a second.
I'm sorry that you lost her, basically, is the message that you get. And then she goes back, we find out that throughout her whole missing time when she disappears at the end of Endgame, she was hanging out with the Ravagers led by Stallone, and that's like kind of a big revelation in this movie. And at the end, she goes back with them, and they're so happy to see her. Welcome back. Oh, our girl's back. Like, we missed you. Blah blah blah. And she's like laughing with them, and it's like you realize like, oh, like this is her group of people.
Guardians,
She found her own family.
Yeah. So it was like, it was kind of heartbreaking because you realize like, oh, she's never going to be the Gamora that we lost. But also you're happy that she found happiness the way our Gamora did. So we know from the first movie that you know, Drax, like that's his whole motivation is like he wants revenge for his family. And in this film, when they run into the little kids that were in cages and shit, you see how good of a dad Drax actually was. Which is, it's cool too because it takes him out of his, like he's obviously the comedy role in the movie, right?
Monkey noises.
And you know, we see how good he is with children, and it was like really kind of just like warm and also heartbreaking at the same time. And then Nebula drops that line on him of like, "Oh, you were never meant to be a destroyer; you were meant to be a father." Oh,
yeah, I think that was great at taking him out, but also when he knew that other language, that was like a good moment of taking him out of being just like the normal comedy relief.
Yeah. Speaking of languages, by the way, I wonder if you guys caught this. I thought about it, and then James Gunn confirmed it. But finally, Groot, understanding what Groot said, I love you guys. How did you guys take that?
That we finally understand Groot.
We finally understand.
Okay, good. Because he confirmed that. It's like, it's us, the audience, finally, like we're part of the family.
Because nobody understands him at first, but then they do, because they showed Gamora go through that.
Yeah, that was hilarious how she was like, what is it?
Yeah.
I know who you are.
I know who you are. So let's talk about Adam Warlock. We knew he was coming. He's a big character in the comic books that they didn't utilize the same way. Don't really care for him in this movie. I thought he was, yeah, I just felt like he was kind of just jammed in there and not really, he didn't really serve a purpose to me, to be honest, other than to like move the plot along. He's the reason why the plot began to begin with. And I get it. It's fine. I didn't not like him. Like, I feel like if you take him out of the movie, it doesn't change one way or the other. By the end of the movie, they save him.
He was gonna like light up Groot, and he passes out after he escaped. And then Groot sits there and looks at him, and then gets him out. And he asks,
all right.
Yeah, why did you save me? And he said, I am Groot. And I think it was Drax that said, because he said everybody deserves a second chance.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's right.
But that line is the whole premise of the story of the three movies. Everybody deserves a second chance. And if you get a second chance, if you have the opportunity, don't squander it.
That's
everybody,
right.
Except for that one stupid guy that nobody loved, that Drax wanted to go.
Yeah. Not even
just the one. Yeah, he was looking for just the one.
Not even one stupid guy that
please give him one. He needs one, Lord.
Kill anyone who gets in our way.
No, not kill anyone.
Kill a few people.
Kill no people.
Kill one guy, one stupid guy who no one loves.
Now you're just making it sad.
This is the perfect movie, really. And at the end of the day, like it's the perfect ending to the trilogy of what will probably go down as one of the greatest trilogies ever made, I think. And I think it's
great send-off.
Rightfully should. You're right. It's a great send-off because like everybody gets their happy ending, really, or their time to, like, while we described like the thing with Gamora as heartbreaking, it's heartbreaking for us because it's not the ending we wanted, but it's the ending that the character deserved.
Great for her.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was really good from top to bottom. I loved everything about it, the writing, the acting, the comedy, the drama. It was very, very, I cried so much, especially all the stuff with Rocket. Oh man, a lot of emotional packed movie. Doesn't get much better than this. Again, James Gunn is a living treasure. This should be the fucking gold standard for Marvel movies, right? Like, this is what made Marvel great to begin with, like, from its inception of this whole fucking universe that they started, right? It was singular movies that tell singular stories that sometimes don't have anything else to do with anything else, yet they do a little bit, right? Like, this was nothing to do with the grander Marvel universe. It's not like, hey, here's a movie, and this is the villain, and he's the next big thing. Hey, here's a movie, and this is setting up the next thing. It was never like that. Like, all those little tags at the end of the movies back in the day, Captain America will return, Iron Man will return. Like, it never really mattered to that story, and it doesn't matter to this story. This story was singular and isolated, and it was told in a really cohesive way, and the other movies recently don't have that, and I hope they get back to that.
We have been running our whole lives. Pete, I'm done running.
But yeah, so bittersweet ending. All good things must come to an end. It has an 8.4 on IMDb. I'm bumping it up. I'm giving it a 9, baby.
Yes, sir. It's a 9.
Easy
9.
8.5. Okay.
Okay.
Always got to be the odd man out.
I could, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Gamora was a little unnecessary in this movie. I know people wanted to see.
I don't think so. It gives closure to not only Peter Quill, it gives closure to us. So yeah, fantastic movie. Loved it. Thank you, James Gunn. Keep making your fucking shit because you're a fucking killer.
Second best movie in the franchise.